Hello there, Tommy from the Run Testers. In this video, myself and Nick are going to be doing a first run review of the New Balance FuelCell SC Trainer V2. Now, we were sent these from Sport Shoes in order to do this review. We're not paid to review these shoes. We can say whatever we want, but big thanks to Sport Shoes for getting us these so we can get this review in. Right, let's dive in with the first run. The New Balance FuelCell SC Trainer V2 costs £210 or $179.99, weighs in at 256 grams or 9 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 6mm. The FuelCell SuperComp Trainer V2 sees several updates compared to its predecessor. The most important of those is a significant decrease in stack height from 47mm to 40mm in the heel. That, combined with a new less dense midsole design, means the shoe is noticeably lighter than before. The NG Arc build sees a full-length carbon plate that sits between two layers of Fuelcell Foam. In the centre of the midsole is a hollow channel that New Balance calls a void, where the plate flattens with each step and reshapes on toe-off to provide energy return. The shoe also features an updated flat knit upper that aims to provide a comfortable fit with some reinforced sections for support, and there's a healthy layer of outsole rubber to protect the midsole foam and add grip.
So I have a UK 9 in the SC Trainer V2, which is my normal size in the UK. With New Balance, that converts to a US 9.5. Sometimes it's a US 10, but this is my normal size across all New Balance shoes, and it fits me perfectly well. I've got enough room in the toe box, good hold around the midfoot and heel. I think it's a little bit roomier than the SC Trainer V2. New Balance sometimes really cramps up the fit on their racing shoes. That makes them very, especially around the toe box, makes it very tight, quite a bit short. I don't think that's really the case with the SC Trainer 2. So sometimes I think it's worth going half size up with New Balance with their speed shoes, but with the SC Trainer V2, I was very happy in my normal size, and that's what I'd recommend going with.
The fit for me in the SC Trainer V2, I'm an 8. This is a size 8. I would stick to my size in this shoe. It felt very comfortable. There was plenty of room at the sides of the toe box and in the midsection of the shoe. What I would say is I did quite a long run I did a 10-mile run in this shoe, and I did feel that my big toe was touching the end, which I don't normally feel in shoes, so I did notice that, so it's worth taking into consideration that they might run a little bit short.
So just heading out to do first run in the New Balance SC Trainer 2. Pretty excited for this one. I do like the feel of Fuelcell Foam in general. I just found with the SC Trainer 1, it was just a bit much. It was just too high stack, ended up being a bit heavy for me, and it was okay to cruise around in, but you had to be a little bit quite aware of that stack at all times because it is so big, and it's not like I'm always running on flawless tarmac around here. So hoping the new one will deliver a similarly bouncy ride, being a little bit lighter and a bit more stable, and just allow you to get on with the run a little bit more. So I've got an easy to steady 10k on the plan today. Start off really gentle pace, just jogging around, move through the gears, probably starting from around the 4th k through to 6k, just still pretty easy-ish, and then get up to steady pace for the last few kilometers, running somewhere around 340 a k usually, with some strides afterwards. So lovely sunny day, looking forward to using the shoe. So first run in the shoe done. I will say I didn't entirely love that. It probably was a little bit less good than I expected. I was really hoping for a bit more from it. Like, it felt fine. It certainly feels smaller and nimbler on the foot than the previous version of the shoe. But when I was running even kind of those middle paces, not even steady, just easy-ish, it just felt a bit muddy. Like, the transition isn't that fast. Don't really get a bouncy feeling so much as just kind of, I don't know, it's just a lot of foam. It just feels like a lot of foam. Like, it's okay, you can still run fast in it. At the end, I was picking up the pace as normal. Heart rate was where I'd expect it to be. Pace was where I'd expect it to be. Just rolling through quite nicely at a steady pace, and it felt okay, but it's not snappy at all. Obviously, it's more of a shoe that's got a rocker than a snap through to it, but it didn't feel like it was really rolling through quickly either, or giving much punch off the toes. I was a bit surprised. I thought it would really feel great, because Fuelcell Foam's great, carbon plate's great. I love the New Balance SC Elite V3. I know this is a different shoe, it's a lot heavier, but I thought it would give a similar punch to it from the foam, but it didn't really feel like that. The foam obviously has been changed, the density and all that, compared to other versions of Fuelcell on different shoes, and it just loses a little bit today. Yeah, that wasn't quite where I expected it to be. Actually, I put the old one on just now. I came home and just ran around the block wearing both shoes to see how it felt. And actually, the first version, I criticised at the time, but it does feel like it's got more punch and bounce to it than this second version of the shoe, which feels lighter, but a little bit deader underfoot. Like, I still I'm not a huge fan of that first version just because of the weight and size, makes it a bit tricky and not that practical to use. There's still a little bit of that with the new shoe. It's a lot more practical, but even today, like if I, the stretches around me, there's lots of cambered pavements, things like that. It doesn't feel the most practical shoe. You're a little bit knocked off center and you lose a bit of the transition. But even then, when I hit some flat stretches where I thought I could really open up in it, which you can do in the first version, that you get a nice runnable bit of terrain. It really does give you a lot of bounce and punch. Don't get so much from the second version. So yeah, a little bit underwhelmed by that first run there. I'm a bit surprised. I thought it would be pretty great, this shoe. It doesn't feel that heavy, even though it's heavy, but it was nice rolling around the easy paces. It probably will have that daily trainer edge to it that we're getting with a lot of these shoes these days, like the Mac X and stuff like that. But yeah, it didn't really have the speed that I was expecting it to have later on in the run. I thought it'd be a bouncy ride, and it wasn't that bouncy. Hopefully that might appear with some more runs in it, I guess.
So I've actually done 2 runs in the SC Trainer V2 now. I did a park run and some intervals as part of that park run, and I did a 10-mile slow run, easy run, the day after. And I wasn't a massive fan of the original SC Trainer. I thought it was a fun shoe. I was using it during my training for Chicago last year, so I was just trying to use it for longer runs, so longer tempo runs. And I thought it was okay up to a point. I didn't really enjoy it after about 20k. I found that it just felt a little bit too clunky, and I wanted something a little bit lighter. So when this shoe came out, which is lighter than the original version, I was quite excited. I thought it might be the improvement on the original that I was looking for, and it'd be a really good shoe for marathon training and tempo runs and things like that. What I've found with it is, over the park run that I did, and I didn't do the park run at my full pace because I'm coming off of injury at the moment, but I did do some intervals within that to see how it felt at running at a faster pace. And it was fine. It definitely didn't feel like it was comfortable doing faster paces. I don't think I'd want to go out and go all out in this shoe, because it just didn't feel like it really was designed for it. It felt to me a little bit soft, too soft, and you don't often hear me say that. I love a cushion shoe. This feels like a soft cushion shoe, and as a result, it sort of deadens the impact a little bit when you're out running. I didn't really feel anything on that park run when I was picking up the pace from that carbon plate. It felt comfortable, but just didn't feel like it was giving me anything more, and you did feel that from the original SC Trainer. Now, on the long run that I did, the 10 miler I did, a very easy pace, so that was at about 5-minute kilometers for me, and I was just plodding around the park. And during that run, it felt like a completely competent daily veering on the cushion shoe. And it was fine for that. I got through that 10 miles quite comfortably. It felt very nice to wear. Didn't feel like I could pick up the pace a lot. It felt like it sort of settled into that pace nicely. But I wouldn't have wanted to pick up the pace during that run. So I think it's a tricky shoe from that first couple of runs that I've done, because if you're buying this shoe, you'll probably want it as a training partner, probably for marathon training where you're doing tempo sessions and things like that at your marathon pace or under your marathon pace. But for me, it actually doesn't really fit in that category. For me, it's really veering more towards those daily cushion shoes that are designed to be comfortable and minimize the impact of the run, and maybe be a bit versatile, but not really all the way, not designed to do proper fast training in, which is a shame, because that's really what people are going to be buying it for, and it's a pricey shoe as well, so you're kind of going to want it to do those things. It's definitely not a shoe I would compare with faster options, daily trainers like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. It just doesn't seem to have that benefit to it, and I didn't really get a lot out of it, and when it came to running at those faster intervals. So all in all, that first couple of runs, not that impressed so far, apart from it being a comfortable shoe to wear on that easy run. So my first run verdict on the SC Trainer V2 is that it's a little bit of a disappointment for me. I don't think it's a bad shoe. I didn't dislike wearing it. It felt fine. If it was a shoe that maybe was a bit cheaper and wasn't pegged as a faster training shoe to use alongside maybe your carbon plate shoes, I think it might be okay. But I think because I was expecting a lot more from this shoe, it just really didn't deliver off those first 2 runs, and I'm interested to find out where it really sits. I'd like to try a few more sessions in this at different paces, preferably when I'm fully off injury over the next couple of weeks, and just see where it sits. But at the moment, I'm finding that I'm not really sure what to classify this shoe as, and for the price, that's not a good position to be in for a shoe like this. So hoping it's going to come into its own after a few more runs.
So yeah, a little bit disappointed by the SC Trainer 2 on my first run in it today. Just felt just a little bit mushy and muddy when trying to move through the gears, and just a little bit more suited to kind of easy running. And that seems to be almost a little trend with these plated trainers and the latest versions of them, that all the ones I've tested, many of them really have been geared more towards being big stack plated daily trainers, mostly for easy running. And I don't know, that's just not what I'd expected from this area. Like if I'm going to spend 200 quid on a shoe with a plate in it and all these nice foams, I'm expecting something that is quick and, exciting and great for fast running, as well as being maybe okay for all that easy running as well. But I view that as more as a bonus. Like I'm not really out to use a plated daily trainer if it's not going to deliver the performance benefits myself. But maybe I'm at odds with the rest of the market there, and maybe people are out for it. But so now we've done our first runs, I think, in nearly all these new super trainers. Some have strengths, some weaknesses. Whether any of them are really going to knock off the Endorphin Speed 3, it's pretty hard for me to see at the moment. It still seems like the most versatile shoe with a lot of pace in it that is still quite good for easy miles. Whereas the New Balance comes in more towards that Mac X end of the spectrum, where it's like a really comfy shoe that maybe could work as a carbon plate alternative. People don't get on with carbon super shoes, but it's still very expensive. And I want to see a bit more from it, basically, when I do some other sessions in it. We'll do some more testing in it. You're not going to say anything too definitive now. But that first run did leave me wanting a little bit. I thought, I was expecting something a bit more exciting underfoot. And it's okay. It's a good shoe. But so far within this category, it doesn't really inspire me as much as some of the other ones available.
That's it from us. Thanks a lot for watching this first run review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the little bell, and check the channel out for all the other videos we've got. Also, we have our monthly podcast, and we also have some extra special podcasts now. So we do interviews with people like Kafuzi about the world of running shoes. But this month, the monthly podcast is all about cushion shoes. So if you're interested in those, head into the comments and go and listen to that. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.